Hi, welcome to the One True Divine Feminine and Psychic Investigations Tarot. I'm so thrilled to have you join me. My heart is filled with gratitude and joy for the people that have been helping me. So, here you can see all the joy and the excitement, here the warmth of heart. God bless each and every one of you for helping to save my life and to track down the people that harmed me so egregiously. You have no idea how much your service means to me. So just thank you and God bless. And I encourage you, if you want to learn more about astrology, to hit the like button, if I even have that attached yet, or subscribe to my channel. I'm pretty new at this. So, anyhow, I do have a heart of gratitude. And yes, sometimes I slip and fall still because I'm still healing from some of the things that happened. But it gives me a great sense of peace to know that the people who have been haunting my life for 6 years are going to jail. You have no idea what that means to me. So, my gratitude is truly immense. All right, well, today we are going to talk about March 2023 a little bit more. And again, I jumped ahead in the universe a little bit because it's a big month for energy shifts, and astrology is all about reading the energy. And yes, I am a pretty decent reader. I did solve my own crime using tarot cards and astrology. And some of you know that that's true, right? So, anyhow, March is a really big month. And so we want to look at, we talked about the big movements that are happening already. So you should watch that first. And if you want to see if there's proof in the pudding, which I had to do for myself, then you start to really pay attention to some of the predictions and the dates and what's supposed to happen and see if they actually unfold. And if you consistently do this over time, you will be able to figure out if this system of connecting with the universe holds water or not. And I did that for about a 2 to 3 year period and realized at that point there was a lot happening behind the veil, and it was just a matter of tuning in. And that's what really captured my attention, was when I realized that this was real and that you could see things and predict things and connect to messages from God basically by tapping into the energy of the chart. And since March is such a big month, I'm going to focus on it and jump a little bit ahead. So review the last video to get the major movements because the energy shifts are coming. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the fine tuning. And it's going to begin with what the planet of Mercury is doing in March. And Mercury, of course, is the messenger, the planet of communications. It rules Gemini and all forms of how we talk to each other, whether it's through Instagram or Snapchat, or you get up and give a live presentation, or you write a book, whatever it is, it's talking to various people. Now, on March 2nd, this telecommunications planet is going to go into Pisces. And then eventually later in the month on the 19th, it's going to move into Aries. So what exactly does this mean? Learning astrology is all about combining the conversations that are happening in the sky. So in Pisces, the planet of communication is kind of daydreamy. You can see right here. It's about talking to God behind the veil. That's certainly part of it. It's about sharing creative ideas and certainly emotions. And you can see turbulent waters here. So it's all about getting into that. Now, Pisces can also have to do with having addiction problems. So this would be a great time for you to get some helping hands to talk about addictions that are causing emotional turmoil. And the purpose of that, of course, is so that you can heal. And though it is not always a direct form of communication, in fact, in Pisces, it's often very nebulous, it is a wonderful time to deal with emotional issues and talk about key things. And of course, the purpose of all of that is so that you can find a trusted guide who can hold the space for you while you get to the center of things and be able to start to do the healing that needs to be done. Now, Eventually, on the 19th of the month, that planet of communications is going to move into Aries. And then the whole vibe is going to shift completely because it's instead of being nebulous, it's going to be bold and forthright and possibly fiery and very self serving at that time. So, bold, direct talk will be what you want to use to get the things that you want in your life in the latter part of the month. Now, on the same day, we're going to have Venus, the planet of love and beauty and things we value, conjuncting Jupiter, which is normally a benefic planet that brings in good things and certainly expands on everything it touches. So this could bring in a windfall of money. It could bring in job opportunities, or a big change in currency values. Emotional talks could also lead to very happy endings for people, even with loved ones or siblings if you've been having some squabbles. And for some people, a marriage will occur on this day. Now, on March 11th, the messenger planet will be sextile to Uranus and Taurus. This could bring in sudden love messages or information about things that we value, like new job offers, right? Or also changes in income, or simply information regarding product reviews, things that we're interested in. And since Venus will be sextile Mars at that time, romantic encounters are highly indicated, and they are likely to be lusty, sudden, and may include lots of very steamy pillow talk. Now, sudden information regarding shocks to the stock market are also possible because it can have a chaotic energy with Uranus involved. And we could be hearing again about some of those earthquakes or climate change induced storms that are going to be coming in over the next 6 months. So this is the card of chaos. You can see there's like a whirlwind here. So we could possibly get tornadoes or various things that are going to make the earth literally shake. Okay. Now, difficulties with drugs, poisonings, and murder plots could also emerge around the 14th of the month. And that's going to happen as Mars, the planet of war, squares up to Neptune. And Neptune deals with a lot of things that you can really kind of see here with this imagery right here. It rules over drugs. It rules over addictions, poisons, illusions. You can see this person is kind of caught in their own imaginings or illusions, daydreams, and also it's very much a card of God. So actions that are taken at this time with Mars squaring up to this planet of illusions could be that we have a hard time taking actions because we just have an inability to quit daydreaming. Another harsh possibility of this aspect, the square between Mars and Neptune, besides poisonings and murder plots, is that suicides are also possible at this time. All right, on the 17th of the month, there's a possibility that communications will get jumbled or come out in a very aggressive fashion as Mercury, the planet of communication, squares up to Mars, which is currently residing at this time in Gemini. So expect doublespeak, people that speak with a forked tongue. Communications that don't go according to plan between either siblings or possibly twins. Or you could find a lot of back and forth talk going on as people examine the light and dark sides of an issue. Now, for those who have Gemini in your 7th house, this could equate to having some very harsh words spoken to spouses, serious partners, or even open enemies. Since Venus is sextile to Saturn at this time, these talks could be happening with father figures, law enforcement officers, or various government officials. Now, on the 19th, and this is the possession card here, the communications planet is going to be riding very close to Pluto. And remember, Pluto tends to dig out things that are hidden and buried and makes people, on your knees get down to the underbelly of what's going on. So, but there are some good applications of this as well. This could encourage folks to do some deep diving into their psyches so that they can understand their thought patterns more fully. A hypnotherapy session at this time could really help you get to the bottom of an issue, to bring whatever is causing the feeling of being possessed to light so that it can be healed. If the emphasis is not placed upon healing, extremely dark emotions could surface. And these are the kinds of emotions and addictions and things that literally possess a person, making them become less than human. And the other thing that Pluto does is it likes to reveal things. So right now we're revealing the corruption and greed and the things that are not working in our country. And that's not bad. That's actually a positive thing so that we can fix where we are. But it could also dredge up information, secrets, things that are hidden. So detectives at this time on the 19th could be looking for hidden emails, texts, or other clues that are tucked away in the dark. And when you find those will be very revealing. Now, a time for healing could present itself on March 26th as Mercury in Aries saddles up to Chiron, the wounded healer. This is an opportunity to improve your own self-talk. And you can see all the chakras here, right? So those are used in healing under the Hindu system and very powerful, by the way. You could also use this time to reach out to a counselor for some very direct help with an issue. Or you might simply come to realize that what really needs to be healed pronto is your own mind, right? So you need to get rid of the illusions and bring enlightenment to your own mind. Wash away the delusions, the illusions, and come to a point of clarity. Now, Chiron is a symbol in astrology that is half man, half beast. The lower half is beast, so that's his more animalistic nature, but also helps to ground him. The upper half is a man-like figure who is always shooting arrows into the sky. And so that is the part of him that's always seeking for higher wisdom and esoteric knowledge, like you would find with the chakra system and healing, for example. He himself was injured with a poisoned arrow, and he spent his entire life both trying to heal himself and others. Now, the house that Chiron falls into will tell you where you were born with an injury right at the very beginning of life. And that is where you should dig in to try to heal. And I'll just give you one example because everybody's chart's different, right? But say you have Chiron in the 9th house. That could indicate that you feel like you have a separation from God, right? Because the 9th house has to do with our philosophy in life. It could also mean that you are going to face legal problems and difficulties because the 9th house rules over court cases, the law, justice system. So that's how you begin to put the things together. And you can't tell exactly what's going on because I don't know what other planets are communicating to Chiron or some of these other things. So this is just a general overview, right? To get to the nitty-gritty of what's going on in a person's life, you have to see the chart in totality because there's so many different conversations happening in the sky at the same time. And you have to have the whole map in order to get a sense of what's happening for a particular person. Okay, another energy that is lurking at this time is the north node of the moon is riding close to Uranus, which is a planet of surprises and thinking outside of the box and maverick energy and challenging rules and doing things differently and meeting up with people possibly who are very different than you. And it is going to be very close to Venus. So this could spark off a sudden and unusual attraction between two people. It could also bring in a windfall of money or a sudden change to your finances. There could also be a big change in the stock market or in prices of cryptocurrency. Avant-garde or new age business negotiations could also be forthcoming because Venus rules everything that we value. It can be love, it can be resources, it can be anything that you place value upon. All right. Now, good luck could be on the horizon on March 28th as Mercury touches Jupiter at this time. Expect really big news. Now, Jupiter expands tremendously any energy that it touches. It tends to be beneficial, but not always. And in a conjunction, which is a tight configuration, it can bring out the worst of things as well as the good of things. So people always think it's benefic, but it's not always the case. But news that comes out at this time could literally go viral. You can see it's like all of these wands are spreading in different directions. So this is like people gossiping and spreading news in every possible direction as swiftly and quickly as you can. And in fact, the symbols up here are Mercury, okay, that communications planet, and Mars. So it's like rapid movement of information that could go viral. Think news blow up. This is March 28th. So watch to see if anything goes really viral at this time. Another way this could come to pass is that the messenger, the winged messenger, who's always tossing out information, could bring in a book deal for somebody on this particular day. Now, by the end of the month, you could feel like your hard work is paying off. For Mars, that planet of action is actually trining Saturn. And Saturn has everything to do with rules and law and government and hierarchy, like we see here with the emperor. He's got the shield and he's sitting on the throne. He's got the flag, all of this stuff. So this is a man of the state. So, and trines represent an easy flow of information. So this could equate to hard work paying off on the job. It could also bring in good fortune if you have been working well with the law instead of going against the grain of authorities. And this is further backed by the fact that Venus is conjunct Uranus at the same time. So working with officials could help to bring in positive yet unexpected outcomes. So this is a little bit more of an energy read for the big month of March, where we should really be truly watching for major world events to unfold. And we know they're unfolding in our own country right now at this time. So now we're going to get into some of the other like homemade cards so that we can deal with some of the issues that are happening here where I live. One of the things that's occurring is that somebody's controlling, or has been, they didn't today, but the computers at the library, and really like shutting them down if they don't like what they're seeing, stopping communications from going through. Sometimes I file reports. I'm not sure that they are getting where they are meant to be. About 2 weeks ago, and I'm not that tech savvy, but I went in and I found all these apps on my phone that appeared to be one thing, but when I opened them up, and there were dozens of them, every single one inside had a connection to my Wi-Fi. So I have a feeling that the fake reality TV show is still happening in my house. I also went through my husband's phone and I couldn't access his apps because they've all been placed into lockdown. So I know good people are working very hard at helping me right now. And I need you to make sure that I do not have a fake reality TV show still occurring in my bedroom, my shower, everywhere else that people are getting paid off of. And I cannot alter my husband's phone, but I know that this has been going on and it's very possibly still going on. As late as last night, every time I tried to encourage people to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I received a 404 server error message on my phone. This is the kind of interference I have been experiencing with communications. I've heard I've gotten job offers I've never seen. They've rerouted my mail 2, if not 3 times. They go through my mail and delete messages. They block phone calls from coming in. It's been insidious. So literally, I have been in a communications lockdown. So if there's a party in December, you need to put it over one of the YouTube channels that I normally watch, or text me with the time and date. I truly would love to meet everybody who's helped me. My heart is filled with love and gratitude for all that you have done for me. Spirit guides, everybody. I just can't even begin to explain how much love I have in my heart for the help that you have done despite all of these blocks. And it's been really quite a trial because we have mob involvement and gangs and covens and a horde of people, right? Down to dirty judges, lots of dirty lawyers and dirty cops, to the point that I have no faith in my county right now at all. I hate to say it. I know there are good people there too, and those good people are trying, I'm sure, to help and to clear up the mess. But at this point, I don't trust any paperwork coming through my county or the shady court cases, because I know they've already done one and the lawyer took all the money and is holding it, right? So he should be charged with trafficking me. And I heard that another court case may be getting ready to go through that I should be on, and I haven't been told a thing, and I'm told there are no court documents. So this is the kind of corruption we're facing in our country right now. And it's to make corrupt, dirty people rich at the expense of the people who are actually harmed. I could use that money to move from where I am and to get help for my family, just so you know. Yes, and there were a ton of vampire witches involved in this case. And I've been told that somebody said that I was a witch, and that's certainly not true. I only connect to God and higher forces, angels. I don't know anything about witchcraft, but I can tell you having a pack of them on your ass is scary beyond all belief. And we need to begin to deal with these covens. And again, if the spells were being cast to do good things and wish people well and to help the world and the universe, well, then I wouldn't care. But so far what we've seen is, how do we stop people from letting their light shine? How do we keep them from working? How do we destroy what they're doing? How do we steal their work? How do we steal from them? How do we cheat? I haven't seen anything to write home about. So the bad people are still in my house, my phone, my email. And, to hire a private eye, you need money to be able to clear the bugs out and make sure the cameras are gone and all of that stuff. I do believe that there is a neighbor, a good neighbor in my neighborhood, who knows who wired my house. And I would really like to know. But you can't tell the local people because some of them were involved. Here's another huge lesson I've learned. That privilege has absolutely nothing to do with decency. And I don't even like hearing the term I'm going to be a privileged lady, because I'm just an average, normal human being. But what I would like to see is my country cleaned up enough and working well so that I can help to improve conditions right here. I'm working on my attitude with that. I've had a few days lately where I felt like the only way is to leave. And what a sadness that is. But that's why Pluto is here in Capricorn through 2024. It's so that we can reveal the corruption, fix it, and transform our value system and change the direction of our country for the next 248 years. This is extremely important and pivotal astrologically and in the future of our country. So for some of you out there, your neighbors are not who you think they are. And some of them have some extremely scary ass behaviors. Scary. And they're doing it for money. So, plots. Theft of an enormous amount of money, poisoning, which they did to my husband 3 times, various murder plots, kidnapping plots, sex trafficking, gang rape plots, human sacrificing, and pedo problems. So just beware. And this is who got let into my house locally. So if you think I'm exaggerating when I say I don't trust where I am, I don't trust where I am. And people need to start talking and solving these things, because the people that took the suitcases of money are going to go down as complicit with this energy. So you could cough up the lawyer, for one, who owes me a ton of money. And yes, they copyrighted my book, which was called Betrayed, and revealed what happened in the first half of the tragedy. And I believe once I get it back, it will go viral. So, tell Tony Stark we need a divine feminine movie. I have been through and survived more stuff than you could possibly imagine with the help of good detectives and FBI agents and real cops. But my story is stranger than fiction, or also stranger than F. I doubt many people have survived as much as I have. Certainly, jealousy is a deadly, deadly, deadly sin. I do hope we find a way to bring the true God down to earth. I really do. Why? Because right now, America has lost its way. And I say that with the most loving intent in my heart, so we can fix where we are. There is a female sellout in the CIA. Women selling women. How did we get here? How did we get to this point of filth? Women selling women. Selling crotch for money. I filed a big FTC report the other day. I hope it went through on the computer, because yesterday my work on the computer shut the computers down twice. Gotta wonder a lot about that. But I'm pretty sneaky, and I have my ulterior ways. You thought I was weak, but in reality, folks, I'm bold as F. I'm stronger than you thought. And I want this cleaned up. And the detectives are digging. So are the good police. So let's talk about Jupiter and Aries. Of course, it depends, on what house it falls into in your chart. But in general, Jupiter and Aries can indicate, amongst many things, police knocking heads. And I know they've been doing that. Now, the only thing I would say with a sense of caution is that can get a little over warlike if you're not careful. This could also indicate in the next year, because we're going to have this for a year, changes in leadership in law enforcement. changes in policy in law enforcement, changes in the justice system, like we have a fire under our ass. Is this good? Yes, it is very good, because right now things are out of control. But if we use the energy wisely, we can harness the luck of Jupiter, the fire of Aries, to change this system that currently feels very broken. I'm so blessed I've had good police and FBI agents and people in my life. But I've also come across people who have been literally trying to sell me out, set me up for murder plots, kidnap plots, everything, for suitcases of money. The justice system, lawyers and judges being bought off. A judge tried to traffic me as a prostitute. Are you kidding me? We need changes like a mother, Aries, like a fire's under your butt in the justice system. And this also means that the good guys are going to get really busy. I already know they are, and they're going to get more so. God bless strong men who use their power and energy wisely to help women and children. God bless. So, the burly bears are coming, right? And the big dogs. And I was going to do a little thing here to entice people to get on the chat, but it's a little bit too much for me. I see who's been signing up on the chat, and I'm glad you're seeing it and tracking these people down. The sex trafficking is out of control in our country, and it destroys human lives. So thank you for getting busy and knocking heads in a good way, right? Thank you for putting really bad people in jail. I'm so grateful. And I know I was impatient, but I understand the process better now. But to the burly bears and the big dogs, God bless you. It's time for our country to make a U-turn. If we don't do this, the next 248 years are going to be grim as hell. We're going to look more like Russia than the decency of the United States. We're going to become a thug nation. So this is why I'm being bold enough, as with Philosophical and Estrella and various other people, the High Priestess Intuition, to bring the degradation, the corruption, the lawlessness to light, so that we can say, okay, we need to make a U-turn if we want the next 248 years to look good with the Pluto return. And astrology is real, so I know that it's critical that we do this. What happened to me, sadly, because I'm a very private person, is going to be international news. I know that. But again, can we use it wisely to make positive change? That's the critical part. For those that thought I was a weakling just because I was nice, divine feminine kicks butt. And so does the King of Swords. God bless you. Saturn in Pisces. This is coming up in March. Saturn is all about lessons and laws and things we have to learn, hardships, things we have to deal with. Pisces has everything to do with God, with addictions, with illusions, with substances. So we're going to have a 2.5-year period where we're in occults, where we're going to be looking very hard at what's going on in this part of our lives. It's also about trying to ground God down to earth, right? I'm all for bringing God down to earth, more than you could ever possibly know. But we need to look at how we're doing that. Is it effective? Is it right for everybody? Do we need to create third world wars to bring God down to earth? Do we need to try to force a system of a particular religion on everybody to bring down God down to earth? Or can we have room for many different things like New Age healers and people that tap in differently like me? I'm not going to change one way or the other. I'm just saying we have harsh lessons to learn about secret societies, drug addictions, gangs, occults, all of that kind of stuff, right? And we need to start finding the God within us all. Okay, that being said, I have angels surrounding me. And I do believe in angels, right? I'm an astrologer. I believe in God. I very much believe in angels. Some of them are etheric, right? Some of them are passed over loved ones. Some of them are ancestors. Some of them are police officers and FBI agents who are watching my house every day to keep me safe and alive. And, you know, I know some people would like to get rid of religion in totality. I'm okay with peaceful, loving, decent, kind places of worship. But when that turns into chaos and covens and mob-like activity, then I lose that faith. So again, we want to ground God in a good way, but we want to get rid of all of the things that are not working, like corruption in large organizations, for example. Voyeurism is filthy beyond compare. And if you want to try to drive a person crazy, put that in their house for a few years, right? It's insidious. You can't get rid of it. You feel helpless. You feel trapped. You feel spied upon constantly, which of course you are. The fake reality TV show, people need to go to jail for that. That needs to stop completely. And the detectives are finding out what's going on. So you better believe trouble's coming. The people that were involved in this need to go down for sex trafficking, right? They wired my shower. I mean, the filth of what's been done is unbelievable. And of course, I think part of the whole intent of this was to try to humiliate a woman to death, right? So we are going to clean up this filth. We're going to make laws so this does not happen to your mother, to your wife, to your sister, to your daughter, because people want to earn money off of your body. And if people in the government helped with that, they need to go down too. It's definitely time for some people to break family curses. Some of those curses are witchcraft, right? Being attached to the wrong entity. Some of it is extreme sex addictions or addictions to filming the sex act, or just harm that was caused in the family that got spread from one family member to another. Jail does not fix this problem. It makes other people safe. But the people that have this curse have to have education, spiritual help, counselors, self-help methods to be able to overcome this. And since I do believe in reincarnation, I'm going to put that message out very strongly, because if it is not healed in this life, they will come back, and it's very possible they will have the same configuration in their chart again, and we will relive this over and over and over again until the curses are broken. And jail is not the fix. I'm grateful for it, so they can't do it to other people, but the help has to come up here and with the spirit and the soul. So right now, we need to deviate from the course we're on in America, because we're in the Pluto return. And this reminds me of a meditation class I took once at a Buddhist retreat center. And as I was heavy into the meditation, a word just kept coming to me from the clouds: recalculating, recalculating, recalculating. It was as if the further I got up into the ethers, the more I had to change my perspective on life. We need to change our perspective in America. Money is not God. We have a corruption problem for a variety of reasons, but partly it's because we've placed God as king, right? And bling as king. And, how we view ourselves, we're only worth something if we have the flashy things. Well, I've shopped at Goodwill my whole life, and I will tell you this, I'd much rather get my worth from inside of myself, which I do. We need a Pluto return because we need to transform our value system in America. We need to recalculate. And it's critical because what we do in the next few years is going to set the tone for America for the next 248 years. Mark my words. God bless detectives, men and women. I think you've gone into some very scary places on my behalf. Thank you so very, very, very much. Thank you also to tarot card readers. I tried to send out an email to all the people that I normally follow to get you to send your email back because I know I owe people hugely for the help that I have been provided, and I most certainly want to give. But I need a way to reach you. I can't do it with my phone because I can't put my credit card in my phone because my phone is hijacked with mobsters and idiots, right? But and if my ships do come in and I still haven't found you, by that point, I will be able to hire a detective and find you. But I want to bless you for all the help that you've given me. I haven't forgotten you. You have meant everything to me. So my gratitude is huge. I only had one person write back. If you did get the email, please send your stuff to my mailbox so that I know how to reach you. Okay, I know before this all happened, you probably thought this was all nothing but a lark, right? But astrology is changing world events for the good. It is what I use to oust a particular really bad person. I used it to solve my own crime and to basically see into the soul of another person, which helped steer me clear of enormous trouble. And hopefully, because I hit the pause button, which again has cost me 6 years of my life, we now have the time to reflect at where we are in our country with the greed and the corruption and the lies and the cheating, what we're doing to families to win, to bring God down to earth, right? When I really think if we thought about it, if we just simply changed our hearts, we could probably bring him here a lot faster, right? And maybe we need territories so that we all get more of what we want without all of the infighting. The whole world is watching us right now in shock and horror. And frankly, a lot of us inside of the country are doing the same thing. So we know we need change. That's Pluto and Capricorn, the Pluto return. But instead of mob riots and killing police officers and doing the crazy things we're doing right now, how about we just simply sit down and talk and figure out a way that works for everybody? All right. My heart's filled with love and gratitude. I'm sorry I still occasionally go off. When I feel like the bad people are still voyeuring me in my house, it's enough to light off a volcano, right? And occasionally I still let it go. But overall, I'm getting more balanced and returned to myself. The wall of angelic protection has helped immensely. King of Swords, thank you. Law enforcement people, thank you. We need change. We need to work together. I feel like we're on the cusp of light and dark. And maybe it's just my perspective, but lately it feels like we're sliding into darkness here. And for a country that you love, you certainly don't want to see that. So it's time for Jupiter in Aries, right? It's time to make change in leadership, make change in laws, make change in how things are done so that the justice system actually works for real people and victims. All right, my heart's filled with love and gratitude. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your service. Thank you for going into dangerous places that so many people fear to tread. Have a great holiday season. God bless.